Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, 17-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. How are you doing this morning, Bernie?
Doing very well.
So we're going to talk about, we're doing a bit of a reprise, I guess. We're going back to Ford diesels. This time it's a 2008 F350 with a 6.4 diesel. There was an alternator problem. What was going on with this truck?
Yeah, so this vehicle was brought to us, towed in actually, with an underhood wiring fire or an electrical fire under the hood. So that's what the vehicle came into us. Pretty potentially serious issue.
So what did you find?
So what we found upon inspection, we found that the lower alternator had basically had an internal short and meltdown, and we didn't see any flames. We hooked the batteries up, and it started getting hot pretty quickly. So I can only imagine there was a bit of a fire coming out of the alternator, and seemed like that was about the worst area of the damage, was just the alternator itself. But yeah, it was the lower alternator.
So you say lower, is there an upper alternator?
Yeah, there is. On some diesel vehicles, Fords and GMs for sure. I'm not sure about Dodges, but those two brands, you have the option of a dual alternator on some of their diesels. So yeah, it is. So there's actually two of them on this vehicle.
Was there any other damage beyond the alternator?
You know, fortunately for the owner of this vehicle, no. Well, other than the drive belt was damaged, but I mean that would probably be something that would need to be replaced anyways. But no, fortunately there wasn't, and that was a good thing for him, because there's a lot of wiring that sits right above the alternator, and I guess the way it caught on fire, it didn't cause any further damage. So very lucky that it got caught. I'll share some photos while we're at it, and so here's our 08 Ford, nice white Ford four-door F350 with the diesel, and we'll go to the next photo, which is this is the alternator. So this is a lower alternator. It looks, rather ugly. It's had a fire extinguisher sprayed on it, so the things have melted onto the alternator, and also the pulley was seized as well. So whatever happened, it was a complete meltdown internally, and the alternator wouldn't even turn anymore. So that's our alternator. Belt goes here. Mounting one of the mounting holes here, but yeah, normally they're nice, sort of a nice shiny aluminum piece without all this fire extinguisher debris.
So how unusual is this?
It's not. It's actually. Am I on or off?
Off. On. Sorry, on.
Good.
Yes.
Actually, and all the time I've worked on cars, which is a long time, it's only the second time I've ever seen an alternator melt down like this. So yeah, extremely rare. Not sure what would cause it, other than just some sort of internal short inside. There's a lot of windings of wires inside an alternator. It's a pretty, it's a pretty complex piece. Plus, it's directly hooked to the battery. There's no. Sometimes there is a fuse link, but for the most part, it's a direct connection between the alternator and the battery. So there's a lot of potential power that can flow through it, especially if there's a short.
Anything that the owner could have done to prevent this problem?
No, I mean, as an owner of the vehicle, this kind of thing is just a random failure. Nothing you can do. No amount of good maintenance will prevent this kind of thing. And the good news is it's extremely rare. So usually alternators fail, they just don't put out enough energy they don't put out any energy to charge the battery, and they need to be replaced. Or the bearings will fail and they'll cause a noise, and that'll eventually cause a problem. But yeah, a short out like this is extremely rare. One thing I will add too, that if this happens to you in your vehicle, a lot of times your insurance will cover it, because it is a fire, not a mechanical failure. So for the owner of this vehicle, he did have a portion of the bill was covered by his insurance, which was a good thing.
So there you have it. If you have a failure in your alternator, or you've got some weird noises, or your car isn't charging properly, the guys to see in Vancouver are Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them at 604-327-7112. Check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. We have 5+ years of videos on there, tons of information. Thanks a lot, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.